Here in Northwestern State, head coach Rick Cabrera. The Demons on the road this weekend. UIW on Saturday, Corpus on Monday. And Coach, your first South Texas two-step as the head coach here. Long bus rides. What do you do on a long bus ride to relax yourself? Are you immersed in film? Are you a music guy? I know the phone's out every day because you're a coach, but what do you do on a 6 to 7 hour bus ride?
Oh man, so my days as an assistant on long bus rides was sleeping and some film. I said as a head coach, my nerves just keep me awake. I would say 5 out of the 6 hours. So I'm hoping to watch a lot of film and make use of my time and probably get a little shut eye if I can.
Well, while you're awake and maybe going through the film, if you go back to the New Orleans film, which you have since Monday night, what did you see from about that 8-10 minute mark of the first half on over the final 32 minutes of that game from your team?
Like I saw my old team from earlier conference play. Is that you just got to play hard. Those are 2 words that we say. They're very simplistic words. Just play hard. Play hard, and everything else will take care of itself. Even when you make mistakes, you have to make them with activity rather than inactivity. And at that moment, that group of guys, there's probably 5 to 6 guys that came in and really showed an effort that it was, look, I'm not losing another home game, and we found a way.
You'll go to UIW, a team that you had a really good first meeting with, and you kind of saw a little bit what can happen. We know that, and you're a veteran of these leagues where you play each other twice. You know that the first result doesn't always guarantee the same in a second. But does it give you a little bit of confidence when you have that good first performance, even if you have to go on the road, such as this case with UIW?
Oh, most definitely. We did what we were supposed to do here, was win your home games and against them the first time. Now, with that being said, their record doesn't reflect it, just like our record doesn't reflect it, but they're a pretty good ball club. They're playing really well right now. They got a good balance between a perimeter play with Anderson and Wicks, and their post players are playing well, and so they're a very dangerous team in that gym. It's obviously, I haven't been there, but on the screen looks like a small gym, nice little atmosphere for them. But we have to go in there locked in, ready to defend and rebound and play really hard.
One of those guys that you talked about kind of coming on Monday night was Jamel Lane. The last couple of games really embodying what you talked about, and sometimes new coach with a new team, a new player, at times maybe a little tough to find that balance in terms of coaching a certain way and taking that coaching. Talking to him, it sounded like when you challenged him, he answered the challenge in a mature way.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say I'm not easy to play for, but I'm very demanding. So Jamel is my kind of guy. He plays hard. He's coachable. One thing I've always wanted from him, like I said before, he started for us in some games earlier in the season, and I just needed him to rebound more and be a little tougher inside that paint. He showed that grit. He showed that toughness. He does things that will never go on the stat sheet. And I like that about him, and he fits what we do, and that's why he's having success.
Unfortunately, you did not have him against Corpus Christi the first time, and maybe that was a game that started very similar to the way the New Orleans one did. The difference was never really had the answer against Corpus. A little bit more edge because of that as you go to the island on Monday?
Yeah, I'll be honest, we did miss Jamel that game. And I told the staff after that, and not to say if he was here we would have won it, but even when we made our run against Corpus, I think we cut it to 6 at some point. He would fit well in that run because he plays really hard. And against a team like Corpus that plays really hard, you have to have guys that play really hard to match that intensity. And we missed him. And on top of that, we were already low in bodies. We're playing with 8 scholarship guys. And for that game, it was 7 scholarship guys. So we definitely needed another body, and especially a body with athleticism and size.
Speaking with Jamel, we're a couple of games left in February, and then you'll be into March, which is with college basketball where everybody's eyes turn to. As you get closer, do you notice a little bit more locking in when you look at the calendar now that's in the second half of February?
Yeah, absolutely. Because it's it's said by me and the staff every day of how important these conference games are. I tell these guys we are not a lock for the tournament right now, and if you think so, you are truly mistaken. So the importance of these games, the games in the first semester, the North Florida, the Presbyterians, the Monroes, yes, they were important because they're on your schedule. You try to win, but they're not a fraction of importance of your conference games are now. So you got to go in there dialed in, and you'll give it your all, which will result in giving yourself a chance to win the game.
Final 6 games of the regular season. You've got a very interesting schedule if you look at it in relation to where you stand in the conference standings. And as we just talked about, it's getting down to kind of the nitty-gritty. You've got 3 games with teams below you in the standings. You have 3 games with teams ahead of you in the standings. When you look at that, it's a bit of a unique balance to have that down the stretch.
Yeah, it is. But the one good feeling is that going into each game that we play, me as a coach and my players, I feel that we're capable of winning each game. I don't feel that we're outmatched. I don't feel like we're out-talented. That's just a feeling that, like I have going in. That's no disrespect to any team on the schedule. But they're all hard. Like there's no team in this league that you check on the box and say, well, that's going to be a W. We'd have to really screw it up to lose that game. It's a very balanced league. Obviously, McNeese has set the bar. They've done a great job. But after that, it's a pretty balanced league, and anybody can beat anybody.
Coach, as always, thanks for your time.
Thank you.